Hi peeps, good morning. I thought I'd just do a video today whilst I'm drinking my tea at 5:30 in the morning, my pint mug of tea. I'm going to share the promises of AA. Okay. These promises do come true. The AA doesn't offer, the big book of AA doesn't offer many sureties. It doesn't write down, it's a manual on how to recover. It gives suggestions and it mentions things that you must do. But there's a list of promises, and believe you me, they actually do come true. Like the promises. This is step 9 promises. Well, some people call it the step 10 promises. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and happiness. Okay, you do know a new freedom and happiness when you put the bottle down and you move into a state where you haven't had a drink for a while and you're working the program. That's spot on. We will not regret the past or wish to shut the door on it. You can't walk around every day regretting the things that you've done in the past. But you also can't forget them, and you've got to learn by them. And making amends and behaving in a correct way gets easier over time. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. A using addict or drinking alcoholic has no peace or serenity at all. They have madness, but they have no peace or serenity. Next promise, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. You will hit rock bottom. Maybe you have to hit rock bottom before you want to go into recovery. I didn't realize my rock bottom had a trap door after 7 years of sobriety. But the experiences I've gone through, is here to help others and share my message of faith, hope, and experience. I'm not sharing Dave's message. I'm sharing the message that's written down in the first 162 pages of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. No point listening to Dave's message or Dave's advice. It'll kill you. Nearly did Dave. The next promise, the feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. As a drinking alcoholic, I didn't feel I was of any use to anyone or anything. Oh, and yes, I was full of self-pity, especially the next day when you wake up regretting the money you spent and the way you behaved and not wanting to look at the phone to see the messages you may have sent. That goes. We'll lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Addicts and alcoholics are very selfish people, but I've said before, this is a selfish program to cure a selfish disease. And what I mean by a selfish program is you have to put sobriety first, above everything and everyone. The reason is, without sobriety, you lose everything and anyone anyway. Self-seeking will slip away. It just goes. It just happens. Self-seeking motives just disappear. You no longer are concerned with yourself anymore because you were a selfish individual before. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. You start to not rush around like a headless chicken. You slow down a lot, you reflect a lot, and your outlook upon life changes. You can only deal with the next 24 hours ahead, and you only need to stay sober for the next 24 hours ahead. Don't worry about next week, next month, next year. It's a daily program to be worked daily, so think of today. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. I was scared of people. I used alcohol as my way of the oil that runs an engine. That's how I dealt with individuals. Because I have underlying mental health issues, alcohol worked wonderfully for me before I actually started taking medication and got serious help. There's nothing wrong, and the book mentions this. There's nothing wrong if you have health issues, either it be mental health or physical health issues, seeking the help of a professional. Don't go asking a fellow drunk for their advice. Seek the help of of an individual. Economic insecurity. We all worry about the future, we worry about money. We spend money. We spend the amount of money we can spend on booze is quite staggering. I've got an app on my phone which tracks how many hours I've been sober, how many days I've been sober, and how much money I would have spent up to this point on alcohol. That's scary stuff, man. Next promise: we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. Things would come along and just, oh, can't deal with this. I'm gonna have a drink, you know. And I was talking to a friend yesterday that's just about to go into recovery, and they're saying that everything, they got such bad luck. And an old mate of mine used to call himself Bad Luck Schlaprock. He was from New York. And what you tend to find is when you put the bottle down and you start working a program of recovery and you handle a lot of your worries over to your higher power, for me, it is God, things change. I suppose it's the law of attraction. What you give out, you get back. The next promise: we will suddenly realize that God, or your higher power, whatever you call it, is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. I mean, we were rubbish as is using addicts and drinking alcoholics. Um, you know, we were just useless at life, so we used the substance to get our way through life. Um, you suddenly realise, well, hey, I've got somebody up there that I just pass it all over to. I can't deal with it. No point in listening to what I deal with. I I buggered my life up in many ways. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. That's one thing that they do say. These are not extravagant promises. You know, um, we think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. It's a marathon, not a sprint recovery. They will always materialize if we work for them. All right? This program works, but it only works if you work it. Believe me on this. Believe a fellow alcoholic in recovery that these promises will come true and this program does work. Anyway, I hope that's of some benefit to you all today. I'm going to get on with my slow morning. I've got plenty of time before I have to get the 7 o'clock bus into town. Have a blessed day, peeps, and I just hope that those that are out there that are either suffering or got friends that are family that they're concerned about, I hope this gives a little bit of message of strength, hope, and recovery. Don't forget, we never are recovered. We will always be in recovery, but we have a program to work daily, which will keep us in recovery and keep us clean and keep us sober. God bless you all.